disciplinary action where necessary, and we are also to hold ourselves accountable. And most times this can be lacking, and when it is lacking, the auditors come in and then they have to wash your dirty linens in public. It could have been averted. We want to thank the Auditor General's Department as always for their diligent service on behalf of the people of Sierra Leone, to be able to diligently review the public accounts of Sierra Leone, the actions of public officers, and then report on it to the members of Parliament. We also wish to take this opportunity to let our Sierra Leone Parliament and all actors within the accountability system know that this is by no means an attempt to subvert anyone's duties, responsibilities, and actions. We are just part of a whole. And whilst we are waiting for them to play their part, we at the Anti-Corruption Commission are going to begin playing our own part. And we are going to catch up with them when they are ready. As always, all this summary of the Auditor General's Department that we have done, one thing we do is we make copies of all of them. We make them available to Parliament, so that Parliament, they are very busy people. Most times they don't have the time to read this bulky document altogether. We have reduced this bulky document into these. Identify them by departments. For example, every issue in the Auditor General's Department has been reduced to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 issues. This entire document has 10 issues. One is assets management. How are the assets that are held by these institutions in the country being held? 2 is expenditure management. How are they managing the resources, the expenditure that they are supposed to do? Payroll irregularities, payment without supporting documents, procurement irregularities and contract management, revenue management, so those ones who receive money on behalf of Sierra Leone, how they manage them, statutory deductions, what are you supposed to withhold as by law and pay to other institutions, stores issues, when you procure items and keep them in your stores, how do you manage how they go out, and where possible how they return? Unjustified expenses, expenses that there are no explanations for. You spend money and you cannot explain why you spent it. And we have unretired payments. Unretired payment is basically, they give you money to say, go to the provinces, execute something. You are supposed to come back and say, okay, I was given 1 million loans. I spent 500,000 loans on transportation. I spent 200,000 loans on a guest room to sleep. I spent another 200,000 loans on contingency, and I spent another 100,000 loans on food. You do it, you sign, you give it to the respective finance authorities. They keep it so that when auditors come, they will be able to know that that 1 million loans you took to the provinces, this is how you spent it. It's the simplest thing to do. But most times, every Auditor General's report that comes out, public officers don't just do that. So, under asset management, Sierra Leone lost in the financial year 2022 11,243,602 new loans. Under expenditure management, 67,812,587 new loans. Payroll irregularities, 6,304,683 new loans. Payment without supporting documents, 87,586,702 new loans. Procurement irregularities and contract management, 100,200,000 527,362 new loans. Revenue management, 109,098,561 loans. Statutory deductions and failure issues. Those deduct and do not pay 88,557,482 new loans. Stores issues 25,674,446 new loans. Unjustified expenses 6,063,966 new loans. And unretired payments 57,083,103 loans. Now, what we have done is to summarize all these and identify the ministries and departments that are responsible for them. And we encourage all of them to have explanations ready for us when we call on them. We encourage all of them to look in the Auditor General's report. I am going to read out the respective pages that applies to them to prepare. We are going to start with revenue generation. Apex Bank and Rural Financial Development, there is an issue revealed that covers page 6,932, 412. No, this is the money. But this is the paragraph. Page 85. It is captured in page 85 under paragraph 2.7.2 in respect of Apex Bank. It will be good for those who are responsible to look into it and take action. Bank of Sierra Leone, there is an issue at page 131 in respect of payment without adequate supporting documents. EDSA on retired payment, page 180, covering 311,421 loans. Electricity Generation Authority again, page 184. There is an issue concerning Golden Tulip at page 176. Immigration Department at page 334. Ministry of Foreign Affairs The National Revenue Authority has various issues, but principally there is a 240,000 at page 187, which they have to look into and provide explanations for. Ministry of Fisheries, page, they have an issue covering excess daily substance allowance payment to staff and assets not available for physical inspection. Similarly, Road Maintenance Authority, these are all revenue generating institutions. There are issues on pages 119 concerning abandoned contracts or substandard contracts. Sierra Leone Airports Authority, payments without adequate supporting documents, page 172. Various issues concerning Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, starting from page 173 on to page 140. Identified at page 173, 173, page 133, and page 140. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, one of the institutions that we have had challenges with perpetually is Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. There is never an Auditor General's report where there is not a damning issue on Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. And as you are aware, since the days of Lukule at SLMA, ACC has been struggling with maritime. We have prosecuted, we have taken actions, we have taken systems review, but it just appears the place cannot be fixed. Year in, year out, Sierra Leone Maritime Administration is a prominent part of Auditor General's report. Something is seriously wrong at Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. And this year, there are a plethora of issues concerning Sierra Leone Maritime Institution. Even though several heads have been prosecuted, we have done a lot of recoveries at the place. We have done all kinds of systems and review with them. As I speak with you, we have about 3 or 4 investigations ongoing in respect of maritime administration. Here they are again, they are in the leaderboard. In terms of Auditor General's report. So at page 91, there is a payment without supporting issues, supporting document issues. At page 91 again, another payment without supporting issues, page 92, page 93 to 94, page 96, page 97, page 98, page 100, page 300, page 500, page 100, page 101, page 101, page 102, page 102, page 103, page 104. All of them cover Sierra Leone Maritime Administration. And the issues are so diverse. They cover payment of non-supporting documents for payments, payment of corporate social responsibility, unretired payment, non-payment of export freight levies, unjustified payment, overpayment for vehicles, procurement documents not submitted, procurement lifting, incomplete maintenance work, contracts abandoned, ineffectiveness of the internal audit department, staff employed without evidence of recruitment processes, salary payment on verified staff. Now, it almost would feel like somebody just likes to take action against maritime. Because imagine, Lukule was prosecuted, not so, at maritime. Sarah Fidabelu was investigated. She is still paying money to us at ACC in respect of maritime. Masakwe was charged to court. He was found not guilty by the court and was reinstated. Every administration of maritime administration, even the ones they put to act after you remove those people, there are issues in respect of. And these are all serious issues. I am calling on the government and those who have responsibility to supervise the maritime administration to seriously look into what is happening at maritime administration. We have been doing our job and our part in respect of these issues, but they perpetuate. Year in, year out, there are just too many issues on maritime administration. It appears it does not matter who goes there. I only hope that this is the last time we'll have such serious issues coming again in respect of maritime administration. Moving on from maritime administration, there are other revenue generating institutions where there are serious issues, and that includes the Sierra Leone Ports Authority. They too have many issues in the report covering salary payment of staff, poor debt collection, And we have the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority. They are also another usual customer in this Auditor General's report. And there are various issues. The Road Safety Authority, payment without adequate supporting documents, page 169. Difference between the general ledger, PAYE, and asset contribution, page 170. Payment without adequate supporting documents, page 165. Payments made as corporate social responsibility without expenditure returns, page 165. And these are also Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority. Payment unaccounted revenue, page 166. Again, Road Safety Authority, unpaid fines disclosed in the financial statement, page 168. And we have the Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority again at page 168, POIE deducted and they did not reflect in NIA accounts. Then we have the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, the SLRA, which is different from SLRSA, so let's not confuse them. They also have delays in execution of contracts, which are more structural issues, poor revenue collection from rights of way issues. So all these people who are building houses along the highway, some of them are paying rents. Either those rents are not being collected, or somebody is collecting them and we don't know what's happening with them. We have the Universal Access Development Fund, where there's an issue on page 202 in respect of management of receivables, and the same UADF, there's an issue of on page 203 in respect of rural installation of telephony systems. Why I'm starting with Revenue Authority, revenue generation institutions, is because they are the lifeblood of the country. If we are poor today, one of the reasons that could be is because of the way revenue generation is being done, whether well or not well. So I have called them out for them to now look into this audit report themselves and prepare their answers for us. Because after we shall have met with Parliament on the 6th of January and we have agreed on course of action, some of these issues are going to be dealt with summarily. And when I say summarily, it's very easy. We bring you to the ACC if you are the finance director, like the one that says unaccounted revenue. We ask you, where is the revenue? If you have your answer for us, you show us the money lying down in your account, you are safe. But if we ask you for unaccounted revenue and you start saying, well, you are likely to spend some time with us. And we don't want that for anybody. So it will be good for them to now start seeking answers for themselves. Or most importantly, when you are coming, you come with the money in your bag, as some people have been doing. When they are coming to see us, when we invite them, they come with the money in a bag and say, Commissioner, here is the money. We can still investigate you, but the effect will have been lesser because the money is sitting there in our office and we can return it to whosoever it was meant for. Other issues I will not go through, I will just say them out. Local councils, as always, there are several pages of issues on various local councils. Tonkolili, several issues. Port Loko, several issues. Moyamba District Council, several issues. Kono District Council, a lot of issues. Kenema District Council, several issues. Cambia, several issues. Freetown City Council, several issues. Falaba District Council, various issues. Bonth Municipal Council, many issues. Bombali District Council, many issues. Bo District Councils, many issues. And Cambia District Council. It will be good for those who are responsible for these councils to check what is contained in these reports. Tax liabilities. Those who are supposed to pay their taxes and have not paid. There are various issues concerning the Sierra Leone Skills Development Project, PAYE deducted but not paid. Sierra Leone Skills Development Project, non-payment of NACIT. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, non-payment of withholding tax. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, non-payment of GST. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, overpayment of DSA. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, overpayment of DSA again. Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, tax on medical allowance not paid to NIA. Sierra Leone Free Quality Education, inadequate deduction and payment of PAYE. Sierra Leone Free Quality Education, unpaid withholding taxes. Sierra Leone Free Quality Education, unpaid NACIT contribution. Sierra Leone Financial Inclusion Project, non-compliance with statutory obligations. Sierra Leone Agro Processing Competitive Project, non-payment of PAYE. Sierra Leone Agro Processing Project, non-payment of NACIT. Sierra Leone Agricultural Research Institute, withholding tax deducted but without evidence of payment to NIA. Rural Finance and Community Improvement Program, withholding tax not paid. Jala University, statutory deductions not paid to the relevant authorities. Jala University, withholding taxes not paid. National Commission for Social Action, payment, non-payment of PAYE. National Commission for Social Action, non-payment of NACIT. National Commission for Democracy, withholding taxes deducted without payment. MOWPA, I'm not sure what that acronym is, but they did not pay GST. Ministry of Works and Public Assets. Then we have MOPED, NGO in the National Gazette without evidence of payment to NIA. And Ministry of Labour and Social Security, withholding taxes not paid. Administration of Health and Sanitation Headquarters, statutory deductions paid without PAYE. Ministry of Energy, withholding taxes not paid. Mitimagai Technical University, non-payment of PAYE. Guma Valley Water Company, non-payment of statutory deductions. And we have other local councils as well who deducted. These are withholding tax liabilities. Tax liabilities are the easiest for us to deal with. Tax liabilities are the easiest for us to deal with. Over the years, it's simple. You pay salaries, you deduct NACIT. Where is the money? You bought something, you withheld a certain percentage. Where is the money? I am hoping that those who have this explanation, the finance officers in these institutions, are ready to either come with a receipt of payment of this to either NACIT or NRA, or they come with the money to us. We do not want too much explanations. It's either you deducted and it is available, or you have a clear, simple explanation as to why you have not paid, or you come with evidence that you have paid, the auditors were just mistaken. All these three are simple to provide, and we will not want many explanations. So the finance officers must be ready, because there is going to be a standing instruction to detain them if they cannot provide that explanation. There will be a standing instruction for them to be detained if they cannot provide that explanation. There are many issues on diplomatic missions. The embassy in Geneva, Switzerland, used consular fees they received without authority from the Ministry of Finance. Again, that is $122,168. They used it by themselves without going through proper processes. That is a clear offense in the Anti-Corruption Act. The embassy again in Geneva, Switzerland, used $21,163 dollars. Difference between revenue collected and revenue paid to consular fees account. So what they pay to the consular fees account, there is a balance of $21,000. Somebody has to show us what happened to $21,000. Again, the total for the embassy in Geneva is $143,331 euros. $331. Sorry, I'm so used to euros that we are not the dollar people. Geneva, again, the embassy in Abu Dhabi has 5 issues, all of them totaling to $989,973. That is nearly $1 million. And they include records for consular funds collected not properly maintained, gratis visa issued without note verbal, payment without supporting documents, lack of control over the payment process, irregularities and inconsistencies in the payroll. $989,000 lost. The embassy in Abu Dhabi has to have some form of explanation for this, and it is better for them to start preparing themselves to send those documents to us. If not, when we start our investigation, the first thing we are going to do is to request that they be recalled from their respective embassies. The embassy in Iran also have 3 issues totaling $32,000, and these are captured on page 253 and 254 and 255 of the Auditor General's report. It will be good for those who are responsible for this to read those reports and see what they can do. The embassy in Turkey has 4 issues totaling $138,535. They are captured between page 253 and 246 page 246 of the Auditor General's report. The embassy in Saudi Arabia has 6 issues totaling $1,341,741 dollars, and they all range from payments without supporting documents, local travel transactions, overseas traveling, using public funds, and activities, consular activities that were not authorized. I believe this is one of the most extensive review of diplomatic missions ever done by the Auditor General's report. I will congratulate and thank them for this. However, let those people not think that because they are not in Sierra Leone, nothing will be done. Definitely something is going to be done. And we are going to work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to make sure that all those responsible to provide these explanations are returned to Sierra Leone for them to provide those explanations. We have issues in general category with various institutions, including the Ministry of Agriculture, the Board Government Hospital, the Cabinet Secretariat, the District Health Center, the Ernest Bai Kromah University, the Gavi IPAO, the Judiciary of Sierra Leone, MBSSE. There are a lot of issues concerning Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Many issues covering several pages in the Auditor General's report. In fact, I believe that there are more issues concerning the MBSSE than any other ministry. So it will be good for those in the Ministry of Education to read pages 283 onto page 380 of the Auditor General's report, and those responsible are either ready to provide answers or they have the answers and they can speedily bring them to our attention. We also have many issues concerning the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. unretired impress, double payment of salaries to staff, staff failing to report for diplomatic assignments, ineligible payment of child and education allowance, distribution of donated vehicles, salary paid to non-staff. Okay, that is Ministry of Work. So Ministry of Finance ends at distribution of donated vehicles without going through proper processes. Foreign Affairs. And Ministry of Works, we have salary paid to non-staff. Can you imagine? The person is not even a staff and they are paying salary to that person. There is Ministry of Energy payment without supporting documents. Ministry of Agriculture. There are also issues concerning, there are a lot of issues concerning Ministry of Agriculture. Many issues covering pages 264 to 267, 68 of the Auditor General's report on Ministry of Agriculture. Ministry of Health, various issues. Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Public Administration, one issue. Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, two issues. Ministry of Tourism and Culture, two issues. Ministry of Transport and Aviation, one issue. Ministry of Environment. Anyway, there is an issue concerning the MOECC. Sometimes these acronyms can be difficult to decide because there are too many. That concerns incomplete delivery of seedling to service providers. And there are three issues concerning the MOCC. The Ministry of Finance has four issues: budget overrun, asset management, and unutilized IFMIS license. We have some issues with the Ministry of Health. We have issues with the moped, and we have ministries of social welfare and gender. We have ministries of youth affairs, and we have issues concerning the National Civil Registration Authority. And of course, we have various issues concerning NACSA. The Jalal University is also captured. We have issues concerning the Petroleum Directorate and the Stage Management Company. So it's good for those institutions to review those and check it out. So these are the key issues that we have highlighted. There are other sectors that are also captured, which we encourage every public officer to review the Auditor General's report. If you have a challenge with reading bulky documents, all you need to do is to contact our public education department. They will give you concisely something like this, which captured very precisely what concerns your ministry. Every ministry, department, and agency is welcome to come to the ACC Public Education Department and get a copy of the section and areas of the Auditor General's department that concern them, and then try to see what we can do with it. But more generally, we continue to thank the Auditor General's department and welcome the release of this report. We are going to now invoke to work with Parliament. They have already invited us to a meeting scheduled for the 6th of January 2024, and the purpose will be how we are going to coordinate to deal with the Auditor General's report. I am going to continue, myself and my deputy, we are going to continue consulting with the Speaker of Parliament, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and the Clerk of Parliament to make sure that we do not in any way undermine their own role as a principal arm of government of this country, whilst we too at the ACC do not renege in our duties to pursue corruption wherever it may arise. At this point, I will pause, and if there are questions, they can be asked. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Commissioner, for taking your time to elaborate on the issues from the 20. When somebody asks one question, touching on one thing, please don't repeat it. Let's make it.
One is leadership in the institution itself, and two is also failure of that supervisory role. So it will be good. That is why I took my time to address SLMA, because I want them to hear it. That they all have responsibility, the leaders there and the supervisors, to ensure that the story of SLMA is now changed. SLMA is like, you have this institution where every time, sometimes when I get information of SLMA now, I just say, oh God. Because there is nothing left we have not done at SLMA. Nothing. I am telling you nothing. Even counseling, we have counseled. I have put people down in my office from SLMA, and we all wept together, and we shared tissue. I'm not joking. Wow. That was when the issue concerning Serafina Bendu came out, and there was this accountant, Mara, there was another lady. They all came to my office. They were weeping and crying. Serafina Bendu has shed so much tears in my office that sometimes it haunts my conscience. I have sat down with every head of SLMA that has gone there whilst I am commissioner in my office, and we spoke about what to do to change the story of SLMA. I am not joking. Every head, even the ones who are sent there to just act, they come to my office and we sit down. Yet, issues are coming out every time. I have seen on social media not too long ago, they were writing articles about me, that I hate people at SLMA, I want to destroy their careers and futures, and that is why all the time I am going after SLMA. But look at the Auditor General's report. I had no role in the creation of Auditor General's report. Was I Anti-Corruption Commissioner when Lukule and others were investigated and prosecuted? I was not. So it behoves all of us to do something about it, and two things are responsible. Those who are supposed to supervise and hold people at SLMA accountable are failing in their responsibilities. But also the leadership of SLMA itself is failing. So I just hope that they will realize this and they will take action. If not, we will continue doing our role. Like now, Auditor General's report has said that there are issues there. We'll go there again and do what has to be done. But we have to stop this cycle and really change the story of that institution for good. John Mara is asking how speedily these issues will be looked into. Well, as you know, these are many issues, and we will deal with them depending on our capacity and time. But I can tell you, issues like this will typically take place over a period of over a year. Some will be finished fast enough, like I've told you, like tax liabilities. You are supposed to pay tax and you do not pay tax. It cannot take long, my friend. It's either you have an explanation as to why you did not pay tax, or the money is sitting somewhere and you show me. If not, we have a good conversation to have. And that would include you being in prison. It will not take long. Issues of my friend Kev Lukule from Equality says, who is accountable in the embassies? The embassies have a peculiar situation. All financial issues in embassies are usually dealt with by the head of chancery. The head of chancery is like a boat controller in the ministry. So it's very easy for us to know who is accountable. It's just for us to request from Ministry of Foreign Affairs to give us the names and designation of the heads of chanceries in all these embassies, and we do a very nice notice to them to come and explain. And we request from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to request that they return to Sierra Leone and give us explanation. And we are going to do it. We are definitely going to do it. And somebody is asking if there is nothing on ACC. There is something on ACC. If an institution is not mentioned in the Auditor General's report, it means after the audit process was carried out, the Auditor General's department did not see anything that is of significance to include in the Auditor General's report. So that is why some people, the usual question I get is, why is the office of the President left out of the Auditor General's report? It may be that the Auditor General's report did not see anything wrong, so they did not include. So I advise you to see. So that is why nothing is on ACC. ACC has always been a grade A audit institution, even before I became commissioner. And whilst I am here as commissioner, we make sure we check ourselves well. Because imagine if we do not check ourselves well, and Auditor General's report comes out and they say ACC and accounts for NIA funds. ACC collected money, recovery, and they did not pay to government. That is why you see we give that check to the President every now and then of our recoveries. And we record it properly. And there's a bank transaction to show that it was transferred from us to a special recovery account in the ministry. So when the auditors come, we give them the documents, they look at it, they go to the bank and confirm that the money was indeed transferred. So there is no issue on ACC. We are a grade A audit institution, and we are very proud of that. Bob from Newstorm is asking about who is to be held accountable for issues in the office of the President. It will surprise you to know that there is a vote controller in the office of the President, and it is not the President. The President is not the vote controller of the office of the President. There is somebody specifically responsible for all administration in the office of the President. And definitely, if there are issues in the Auditor General's report that concern that person, we will investigate. Sometimes I know when you people are asking these questions, you have one answer in mind. Sorry to tell you, the vote controller in the office of the President is not the President. There are other civil servants who are embedded in those very institutions, who are responsible for all finances of the President. They sign even the money that the President receives. They sign for it. So if there is any problems, they are the ones who are accountable for it. Next round of question and final round.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Yes.
Name media.
I'm Sarah Sisi, Voice of Salon Radio. Probably we have seen different district councils that are coming up every year in, year out.
You only are aware of corruption when it is outside of your own beneficial interest. And you are ready to cause maximum mayhem when somebody close to you is accused of corruption. You journalists write all kinds of articles. You have those headlines. Has the ACC become a witch hunt? The hijack of the ACC by an Afro boy. Targeting. Because this man called you to your office and gave you 250,000 loans. Suddenly the ACC boy is no longer a hero. We all have to watch our collective consciences, and as a country understand that if Sierra Leone is to change and become better, it is first of all our responsibility to develop a system of trustworthiness, of honesty, of integrity with ourselves. And sometimes we think that it is only those who are in public office. But I can challenge all of you sitting here, and all of us sitting down here. We are aware that our entire country, from the lowest ebb to the highest ebb, is first of all permitted by dishonesty. You give somebody 5 leons to say go and share it to other people, he goes there and says I was giving 2 leons. And he's very happy to share in that 2 leons with them after firstly taking the 3 leons and putting it in his own pocket. Even the 2 leons that he gave them, he cannot allow them to enjoy it in peace. He also will participate, but he already has something in his own pocket. You employ somebody, you put him in a shop, you pay him salaries. He is ready to make all kinds of deals for him to benefit, and you don't see profit for that shop. At the end of the year, you can't even pay the rent because he has made all kinds of deals. Somebody will be suffering and crying and comes to you that he's a driver and he wants you to do, you leave your bag, he will go inside there and take the money. I had a driver who was going in my bag and taking the money and subtracting, if it is, you know, the packets, the bundle. Let's say one bundle is 1 million euros. He will go and subtract 5 on every bundle. And I know that all of you have experienced this with various people who are not in public office. Imagine if that person now goes to public office. What is going to take? So let us start by examining ourselves. Corruption does not have a permanent foothold on Sierra Leone. It is us, the humans, who have decided that that is how we want to be. So let's take a decision to change that, and you will see what Sierra Leone will become in a very short time. Somebody is asking, how do we draw a line between ACC and Auditor General's report, and when are we going to prosecute? We'll prosecute as fast as the investigation can go. And I can assure you that we are going to do everything we can to make sure it moves faster. On the 6th of January, we are already scheduled to have a meeting with Parliament. Not so, Mr. Gobi?
Yes, sir.
So on the 6th of January, there will be a meeting with Parliament in respect of the Auditor General's report. So we are already respecting them. I think that was the last question. Yes. Now I want all of you to work with us as we execute what's in the Auditor General's report. We will be doing what we can to make sure that some of these resources that are lost are recovered. Where we can bring in prevention measures to fix so that it does not repeat itself. Where we can, we'll prosecute those who we think are responsible. And where we can, we'll continue to engage to make sure that we save Sierra Leone from the scourge of corruption and it does not become permanent. Every country in the world that has changed was once like Sierra Leone somewhere. Every country today that you admire at some point had massive corruption. But it was because people decided to take something, to do something about it, to change their own story, that it changed. And I believe with the amount of prayer that are said in all these mosques and churches, and the action that we are now taking on corruption since President Bio became president, but even before that, and the kind of commitment and dedication that is coming from all of you, will change the story of Sierra Leone. I thank you all for coming. I thank you all for your amazing questions, and let us continue engaging as we work for better results for Sierra Leone. Thank you very much.